Hello, everybody. This is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Friday afternoon edition. We'll primarily focus on Altcoin Alert, the view of the market, and then questions and answers after that. So I'm going to share my screen, and we will look at Bitcoin. It's been kind of a stinker this week. All right, everybody, can you see my 1 hour chart on Bitcoin? All right, cool. So actually, let's go to the day chart and work our way back. The plan that I discussed last week and also on Monday night was my thinking that Bitcoin, after this dumps on the 19th and the 23rd, would work its way back up to this zone here around 42, 41.8. I set an alert, and my plan was to sell any upside down coins I had, which were quite a few, as many traders have had, and then have some cash to buy the dip. Well, the dip is coming, but we didn't get that rise. It touched on 40. I did sell some of my positions, so but probably only about a third of them, and I held out for the others because they were in worse shape. The ones I sold were in better shape. So anyway, so that was disappointing, and now we've got Bitcoin dropping 10% today, and like I said, being a stinker, and so my plan is not working out so well. So it looks like I'll be holding these coins a little longer than I thought, or I'll have to sell them and take some bigger losses. So but regardless, I'd really like to free up some more cash to buy these dips. And here on the 1 hour, I drew these trend lines, but the market seems to ignore my trend line. So a little discouraged about that too, but still loving me some crypto. As you can see from my background, in crypto we trust. So I've got an alert set down here around 32.5, 32.6. That's where I'm going to be probably going in with what cash I do have to make some additional purchases, and I'll probably buy a long position with a leverage token on probably on Binance or FTX. Speaking of leverage, I did start leverage trading this week. I mean, real leverage trading, like 10x, 25x, things like that. It's terrifying and exciting at the same time. I'll keep you guys posted on that. It's beyond the scope of this call, but I knew it was the next step for me, and my day trading mentor drugged me in to his world of leverage, and so looking forward to that experience and hopefully sharing it with folks who watch my videos and attend my Zoom. So anyway, what's Bitcoin going to do, today or this weekend? Bitcoin mostly goes sideways or drops some over the weekends due to a lower volume. And I don't know how much the American holiday of a Memorial Day will affect, the overall crypto market. Probably some, but so anyway, I'm just going to leave that alert alone for now. And if it touches that, then reevaluate when it drops that much. I'm in a couple new spot positions. I'll go over those shortly. But with Bitcoin dropping the way it is, it's starting to come back though, at least on the 5-minute chart. I've got another chart over here. Let's go to the 5-minute chart actually. It's kind of rude that I'm looking at something you guys aren't seeing. So we had this big drop here. I just missed it. I was out and about doing some errands, as I often do on Friday afternoon, and this would have been a great short here. But it's it's one crashing dip here. 1, 2, 3 coming up. This is almost a textbook 1, 2, 3 dip. So you don't usually have this many red candles in a row, but with this kind of sequence for Bitcoin, and since most of the coins follow Bitcoin, let's look at some other coins. I'm going to take a quick look at Altcoin Alert. I bought RLC this morning. I've been in and out of this coin a few times, mostly due to Altcoin Alert's high AA scores. It's actually lower this morning when I bought it. I was in at 739 Pacific with an 84.5 score. Now the score shot up to 98.4. Unfortunately, the coin has dropped, but it's rebounding now. This is my ladder buy alert. So if it drops down here, I'll go in for another position. But hopefully it bounces back off this 1, 2, 3 dip action and recovers. So RLC was I think will be a good trade. I may have to ladder buy it once or twice due to the Bitcoin drop. Probably the only, well, I understand that Altcoin Alert does try to take in Bitcoin drops into consideration, but they haven't quite nailed that down yet. I don't know if it's practical that they can, drop the score immediately after Bitcoin drop or how that would work, or if they keep it high as a potential, buy the dip kind of trade, and we love to buy the dip. So I like that about RLC. These other coins are not. Looks like Storm just came up to the top 5. I have traded this before. Let's check out Storm. Oh, that's weird looking. Let's just do this. So when I look at Altcoin Alert, first thing I do is look at the AA scores in the top 5, see if there's any coins I've traded before. And again, we have a 1, 2, 3 dip and go. So this is what we're frequently looking for. A lot of times we don't get dip trades off Altcoin Alert AA scores, but we have some pretty good timing today, assuming that we have a rebound off these dips. But the overall trend is still down, so I wouldn't expect a big giant pump, but certainly to the SMA line, maybe a little bit beyond, like these candles have done. So, I'm Bitcoin, dadgummit. Looks pretty similar though. 1, 2. We only got 2 dips here, but we have a MACD cross down here, so this is one to potentially get into, but it's pretty close to the SMA line already. It's only like 1% to it, so we're probably too late for this one. If you want to trade Bitcoin like I just showed you, that would be an option. There's always little leverage tokens on Binance and FTX for 2 to 3x leverage. If you think that Bitcoin's going to keep pumping up. But STMX, I think we're too late for that one, at least for this type of sequence. If you want to catch it after the SMA line and see if it pumps beyond, that might be a good play, but I dislike buying this close to the SMA line. So those are the 2 on the top 5 AA scores that I've traded recently, and I traded AVAX earlier in the week and had a nice trade with that, about 8 or 9%. So but due to my new direction with leverage, I haven't done much spot trading this week. So I may not be as good a host as usual, but I'll try. And then I also, in my prep time, I was doing some sorts based on the Elder Impulse, which is the new column that they added. And I'm having to reload Altcoin Alert lately, several times today. So I think I know there was an issue with the software yesterday. Maybe it's still lagging behind a little bit. So if you're having trouble with it, just reload and it'll update. So this is the Elder Impulse column. It combines, moving averages and the MACD in the 20 to 50 hour time frame. That's the daily one. And this one is the hourly, just a shorter time frame. But as I explained last week, I'm a day trader, not an hourly trader. So I usually look at the daily, not the hourly so much. I need to move this. And so you can sort. And we've got one bullish, and that's Matic. So I got into Matic. And that's the other trade I made based on Altcoin Alert today. So this is the Matic chart, and I saw a 1, 2, 3 dip when I was during my prep time, and so I got in. It made a 4th dip on me, but I got in at 178, so I'm a little bit in profit now to 181. I set a goal for 189, which is right around this resistance here. So 178 to 189. About 6% profit. So if I can get 6% on a Friday afternoon, that's pretty good. I'm a little superstitious about Friday afternoon trading. I've had some bad results in the past. I don't usually do it, at least not spot trading for longs, but I don't usually see a perfect 1, 2, 3 dip either. So I went ahead and jumped on that. Well, those are all the trades I've made based on Altcoin Alert today. Does anybody have any questions about the Matic trade or Bitcoin or RLC or STMX that we talked about? All right. Let's do a couple more sorts, and I'll throw it open to any kind of questions. Trading activity is another one I like to do. It's hung up again. All right, Beam, Theta Fuel. Kind of like that one. Theta Fuel, bullish 71. Trading activity is fire. Social activity is a thumbs up. A little discouraged by the bearish hourly impulse, but everything else looks good. So let's check out TFuel. And we're too late for this one. It went through a similar dip sequence as Matic and Bitcoin and RLC. So it's already hit the SMA line, just kind of the no man's land area when we evaluate trades. For those of you who are new, I'm looking for this kind of dip sequence or something like this that punches through the SMA line, spikes up, usually to the top of the Bollinger Band or maybe a little bit beyond. So had I been watching this at 1 a.m. my time, I might have picked this up, assuming it had a good, AA score too, try to hit to the SMA line for almost 4%. That's a good day trade. So remember, with day trading, we're just trying to scalp off small profits, 2, 3, 4, 5%. That's all good. Sometimes in a super big dump, like we had on the 19th and the 23rd, I was holding out for quite a bit more. Double digits frequently, 10 to 15%. If that's your risk tolerance, that's okay too. So, but today with the market mostly trending down, that's ambitious. So even my 6% that I'm trying to get on Matic might, may or may not happen. So we'll see. But Matic's been so volatile the last week or so. Actually, I wanted to show that chart. Say, look at the hour. Actually, I was going to look at the day because it spiked up here, 272. Just a week and a half ago, it dropped all the way down to here, like 70% of its value, and then reclaimed a lot of that, almost all of it, only 9% short of its value of its high, and then it dropped again last couple of days. So this kind of volatility is what we like as day traders. When we get the right setup, you can usually pick up a nice, move your balance nicely with a few trades in and out. this kind of thing. So, all right, well, that's all I have for, my altcoin alert spiel and the trading I've done, using the software. Do any of you folks have any questions on Altcoin Alert and how I use it? If so, please speak up. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you explain why you have to reload the software? What's happening?
We got a message on the Slack group yesterday saying it wasn't loading consistently. It wasn't updating. So, and it's my understanding they fixed that. But to be candid, I haven't been on the Slack group today. So I don't know if it's come back or not, but it's really the first time I've had to do this very often. I do it as a habit anyway. If I look at it for the first time in a few hours. So, that's a normal thing for me to do, but I don't usually have to do it for each sort. So I think it's a temporary bug. And it's, mildly annoying, but I don't think it affects any accuracy. So. All right, any other questions about Altcoin Alert? All right, guys, any questions about anything regarding crypto? Let's go ahead and broaden it out. I think our meeting might be shorter today. We just don't have quite the attendance, probably due to the holiday weekend. But if you don't ask questions, this is going to be it's going to be even shorter than I anticipated. So I can always call on people. Didn't you hate the teachers who did that?
Hey, CJ, it's Sean.
John.
I got my video off because I'm having trouble with my internet today. So
bummer.
I'm just trying to see you. My question is, you get up in the morning, you look at this. Do you tend to do more trades on Altcoin Alert, like first thing in the morning when things have had a few hours to develop? Or is it basically, is there some time of day that's better for you, or is it just 24 hours?
I look at it mostly in the morning.
Okay.
It's one of the first things I do. I did a video about my routine because some traders wanted to see that, and I think I put that in there.
Right.
So, yeah, this is one of the, I look at some things regarding market conditions first, and then when I go to do my spot trading, this is the first thing I look at. And it's really been helpful with the improved AA scores. Getting them over 90 or in the 90s has made me more confident to trade some of these. And I look at about half of them because you can't know them all. And yeah, I'm just not on all these exchanges. So
do you jump onto it all day when you get Slack alerts for the AA alerts?
I don't. I think I don't get those alerts. I mean, I can, but I found that, and there's nothing wrong if you want to have those alerts. I would just rather look at them at my convenience, and then decide what I'm going to trade that day based on that information. And actually, I'm talking myself into it. I probably should. I think because the 80s, I don't necessarily look at those. Occasionally, I do. But I'm more interested in the 90s. I've had better, obviously I've had better success with the higher AA scores. So that's why if something hits 80, I'm not all that interested in it. But if it's at 90, then I'm more likely to look at it.
Okay.
But
Thanks.
yeah. But maybe I should look at 80s more. Not being a very good ambassador. Yeah, who was that?
That was Darren.
Okay.
I'm new to the trading, looking at doing the trading. And when you say you're making you're shooting for 2 to 6%, is that enough to, at 2%, are you making enough to where, taking into tax considerations and fees from the exchanges, or, do you still, obviously if you're doing high volume, that would pay off. But if you're in a lower volume class, what how do you have like a formula that you use to figure, or what the?
Well, it's a good question. Yeah, when I first started a year and a half ago, I had a small balance of around $1,000, and the goal is just to move the balance forward 1% a day. Now, obviously, I can't make a living on that. I was doing other things at the time, but if you've seen any of my videos, I talk about watching the additional comments, after my video training, and there's 2 slides that talk about moving your balance forward 1% a day and how that works like a compound interest. So with $5,000 in a year, if you move it 1% every day, and it's harder than it sounds, you can have $180,000 in 1 year. So that's why, for anybody who's interested in day trading, I recommend you start that way and build up your balance over time with, some of these safer, more conservative trades, and you can build it up. But and then once you do, and then if you're on an exchange, I trade on Binance International with a VPN, and the fees are very low. They're negligible. So that that doesn't concern me. And regarding taxes, it always seems to come up, and it wasn't even Patrick this time. But yeah, the tax rate's just the same as regular income. So that to me, it's like making a trade is the same thing as, I was a paralegal for 20 years. It's like going to the office and doing legal work. So it's taxed the same. So, and if you want to hold your crypto for over a year and have it be a long-term thing, that's your prerogative. I don't want to get into taxes too much on the show, but yeah, this Altcoin Alert is primarily for day trading and somewhat for swing trading, for trades of a few days or a few weeks. I wouldn't go much beyond that with this information source. So that answer your question, Darren?
I think so, yeah. So
Okay.
I'll go through your catalog then, and I've been gone for the last 3 weeks, so it's totally out of. I was out at sea, and we had no internet. And when I got back, boy, was I in for a shock of what happened.
I bet. Oh, so you didn't even know that the Bitcoin had dropped that much, huh?
No, I did not.
Wow, that's an unpleasant surprise, huh?
Yeah, it was. So,
CJ, can you give an idea of how much percent is taken by an exchange when you take money out of the exchange?
The exchange usually doesn't charge for that. You just pay a network fee. So if I move, my practice is if I take money off Binance, it's in USDT, and I usually buy Litecoin, and then I send the Litecoin over to Coinbase Pro and sell it into USD. That's a Litecoin transfer is about 30 cents. So that's the cheapest I've seen, consistently. And then, if I sell it into USD on Coinbase Pro, I can transfer that to my Coinbase account and cash out through my bank. So, but obviously I pay, I pay a fee to Binance to buy Litecoin. I pay a Litecoin transaction fee of 30 cents, give or take, and then another fee with Coinbase Pro to sell the Litecoin into USD. So there's 3 small fees in that scenario, but not really enough to discourage me.
And no fee to cash into your checking account.
Well, not there shouldn't be, but I have an issue with my bank on that. Yeah, but usually no. All right, any other questions?
CJ, I have a question regarding, so a couple months ago, I got in on a couple of coins, probably shouldn't have got them pretty high, like Chili's and New Cipher, some of those other ones.
I've got Chili's. I'm with you. I'm feeling your pain on that one.
Yeah, I mean, do I just dump it? Is it coming back? Because it's I think I bought Chili's at 52.
Yeah, I was right about the same. Well, did you hear my my Bitcoin coverage earlier in the call?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chili's was one of the ones I was going to sell when Bitcoin got up to 42, because in that scenario I get about half my value,
Okay.
and then I was going to keep that cash for when Bitcoin dropped. I was pretty confident Bitcoin would drop again, you know, down to 32.5 or something like that, and then I was going to use that money to buy probably a better coin than Chili's.
Okay.
So it's sort of like, you know, I recommend the Crypto Banter show. They call it farming.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's, I thought that was a pretty good strategy they described. Just Bitcoin didn't quite cooperate on it. So imagine that.
Right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh, hi,
Hi, is that Jill?
it's Jill. Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Jill. Are you just saying hello, or do you have a question?
I actually have a question. So recently, we received this CryptNation trade alert.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I'm reading through it. I don't actually understand it very well, besides saying don't freak out. This sort of mirrors what might have happened in 1955 to 1958 in the Dow Jones, although there's separate markets between stock and crypto. And then Dow was down at 400. 64 years later, the Dow is up by 8,000. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do with the alert besides information purposes, or is it giving me a hint of something? Like,
Yeah, I think it's mostly informational. Let me see if I can bring that email up.
usually their alerts are like, hey gang, you know what I mean? This one is like rock bottom, get it now, or hey, stay away from, or we're giving you notice that we think it's, or something. But I didn't quite understand, you know.
All right, can you guys see the CryptNation trade alert?
I can see it.
Yep.
All right, so this is what she's talking about. I think it's just some words of encouragement, and it wasn't clear. I think Bryce is saying we're at a low, and I'm pretty confident this is the bottom. And when I thought he was going to be rock solid in that, then he waffled a little bit, which is reasonable. But yeah, I just think he's trying to make the correlation between the crypto and the stock markets, and that you know, sometimes we feel when we see a dump like this, it's never coming back. We're going to be, or it's going to drop down to, you know 3,000 or 4,000 or something like back in March, and feeling demoralized. And I agree with you that I think this is primarily a pick me up, because it's not, you know, a specific recommendation on a coin on an altcoin like it usually is. Well, one could maybe deduce this is encouragement to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, but you know, and that's cool.
I thought he was encouraging us to live another 60 years.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure what was going on. But I mean, I can't quite understand it very well, but I do know that people are doing this sort of, let's pay attention to the stock market because it will impact the crypto market. So if the
Yeah, it
stocks
has from time
die,
to time.
right? You know, so now it's not only paying attention to your own market that you were in, but also this parallel market. So now we've got more to keep track of.
Yeah, it can be frustrating. I long for the days when the crypto market pulls away from all other, you know, financial assets, and then doubly long for the day when altcoins pull away from Bitcoin. But at this point, they're all intertwined. So all we can do is trade the reality of it. And so I think we're all confident that even though at least our major Bitcoin and our major altcoins, those that actually have some utility, you know, like Ethereum and Matic and Cardano, those kind are going to survive any kind of storm and come back. But, you know, the poop coins, not so much. We don't really know what's going to happen with them. So that's why my plan was, take that cash from my Bitcoin sale at the theoretical 42 level and then buy some more quality coins and dump some of the marginal ones I had. So, but anyway, that's how I read this. I'm just trying to interpret, what he's writing, and I just think it's calmed down. We're in pretty good shape in the long term.
Okay, a long term. And also in the trading philosophy that I'm trying to pay attention to, because my understanding is that we're hopeful by looking at trends and charts that it might, Bitcoin might be going up a little bit along the chop. And then when it gets to,
very choppy.
Every day, very choppy. And then if it gets to ish, 42-ish or whatever, it might be wise for those that would like to, because allegedly the alts might be going up, percentage also. Then you're like doing almost a coin by coin analysis. Do I think that this is going to be here in 5 years, like Kick or Safe Moon or whatever people are like thinking it might go to the moon or whatever?
Well, you're sort of confusing it. Maybe I didn't explain it very well. The 42 part was just to generate some cash.
Okay.
That's where I'm selling any non-performing coin that I currently have. And I sold about a third of them already. So obviously I have 2/3 left to sell. And so that's what I was going to sell at around the 42 level. And then when it dropped down to 32 to 34, then I was going to buy, sort of your blue chip altcoins, like I said, Matic and ADA and Link and that kind of thing. So, the kind of coins that have some usefulness and aren't just speculative. So I won't be buying Doge in that scenario, but.
Well, and I'm interested because, the chart dwellers, as I like to call you guys, the ones that really dwell in it, including people like Terry and Alan, right? Some of them are suggesting, specifically Terry, that it potentially might go even lower than 30, right? I mean, so that's the kind of stuff we're paying attention to with your sort of maybe ladder buy orders or something, that maybe you might get a part of a Bitcoin or a Bitcoin at under 30, that it might actually drop into the 20s,
Yeah. And if we look at my Bitcoin day chart, my low on my, this is a Fibonacci retracement chart, but it's not important other than my low is here at 28,630. So that's where it was in January 21st. Now it did hit that, go up and then hit it again. So that takes care of that liquidity that's available at this level. Whereas, we had a big dump here and it did hit it again, but didn't go all the way down. So some of the purists think we've got an area here that still needs to be picked up. There are orders that were placed that weren't filled. And so, there's a good chance that Bitcoin could come down this far. It could. Like I said, I was just giving a range of 32 to 34. We've been dancing around 35 a lot today. And, we're going to have lower volume over the weekend. So, it could come down some more, but we're all just doing our best educated guesses.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
CJ, can you explain what you just said? That orders could exist for selling at market price and they don't get filled, which means you don't sell your crypto in 5 seconds. It might take a day and the price could really drop.
Right, that's true, but that's not quite what I meant. There were probably buy orders down here, like it got down to 30,100. Doesn't show very well on this chart, but so there were probably people who had buy orders, limit buy orders, right around 30,000 or slightly above, slightly below, that were never filled. And so a lot of the chartist type people think that when you have that liquidity, that cash waiting for a purchase, that the market eventually responds and gets down there. So that's the reasoning behind that. Not sure if it'll happen or not, but some people I follow.
You're talking about limit orders that are sitting there, though. Patrick said the word market, and a market order would get filled.
Right, right. And that's why I made the distinction that it's limit orders that are sitting down here that have not been filled, where Patrick was talking about a market order that you set right away when you see a market condition that you like, and get you in and out right away. I use market orders on my leverage trading, but I use limit orders, my spot and, swing trades and longer term stuff. So,
Well, I really meant panic selling. Like,
uh,
oh my God, it's dropping, so I'm going to sell at a market price. But by the time the order gets executed, it's fallen even more.
right. Yeah. If you're, I'm not going to tell you how to panic sell, but if you have to, that's how you do it. You market sell. So, and that creates, giant red wicks like this. Though most of what I'm hearing is a lot of this was longer term leverage traders, stop losses. You have to sell your position to when you get liquidated. So there was a lot of that going on for these dumps on the 19th and 23rd. I'm not contemplating trading like that. I'm going to be in and out like my day trading. So, all right. Well, the group got lively there. Cool. Any other questions? All right. Well, it's Friday afternoon on a holiday weekend, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm not going to have the Monday night Zoom in honor of Memorial Day. Thinking people might be with their families that day, so I will resume a week from Monday on that Zoom. Resume my Zoom, and that's all I have for now. Have a great long weekend, everybody.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
You.
Bye bye.
You too. Bye.
Aloha.